Well, it's just after 4 o'clock this afternoon and we're waiting for a big court sentencing. This after the National Investigation Agency demanded the death penalty for convicted Kashmiri separatist leader Yasin Malik, who earlier pleaded guilty to all charges, including those under the stringent Anti-Terror Act, the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, in a terror funding case. A Delhi court any moment now will pronounce its verdict on the quantum of punishment in the case. Arguments have been concluded. The court is expected to give its sentencing any moment now. The defence has asked for life imprisonment instead of the death penalty, but the National Investigation Agency has demanded the maximum punishment under Section 121, which constitutes waging war against the nation, which can carry the death penalty. The minimum, as we said, is life imprisonment. Now, Yasin Malik has also said he's followed the principles of Mahatma Gandhi. He's given up arms in 1994. He claimed he's been doing violent politics in Kashmir since then. He has also claimed to have worked with several prime ministers, and he's also challenged Indian intelligence agencies to point out if there's been any terror activity or violence in the last 28 years. But the valley on edge, parts of Srinagar witnessing a complete shutdown today ahead of that verdict, which is now expected any minute now. Shops and other business establishments closing down in parts of Srinagar. But public transport and vehicles, as you can see from those visuals, have been operating normally, and heavy security also for that verdict. Let's listen in to some political reactions so far.
मैंने जुडिशरी के बारे में ये कहा कि पाकिस्तान में एक आदमी को लिंच किया गया, वहाँ उन्होंने 6 आदमियों को फांसी दी और 1 दर्जन लोगों को उम्र कैद की सजा दी। यहाँ कितने इखलाक लिंच हो गए अभी तक 2015 के बाद? तो एक को क्या, बल्कि उनको तो हार पहनाए जाते हैं, उनको तो सजा नहीं दी जाती, उनको गारलैंड किया जाता है, हार पहनाया जाता है, उनका इस्तेकबाल किया जाता है। यही फर्क है उस जुडिशरी और इस जुडिशरी।
Nazir Masoodi joining us at this point with the latest. Nazir, even as we wait for the Delhi court to pronounce the sentencing, what seems to be the situation right now? Shops still closed, obviously, but on the streets of Srinagar, what seems to be the impression you're getting?
There's really unease. Everybody is literally on edge and seeing what exactly is going to happen, how it's going to play out. And everyone hopes and prays things don't get bad, because it is after a long time. Kashmir is having peaceful atmosphere, tourists, shops are open, children are going back to school without any disruption. Coming back to the case, Yasin Malik was tried for the case which was filed by NIA in 2017 on the charge of terror funding, secessionism, disruption, rioting, waging war against the country. So he chose not to challenge actually those charges which were leveled against him before the NIA court when he was asked. So now he has been pronounced guilty. Now the verdict would be on the quantum of punishment today that will come any time from now. Be it life or be it death sentence, and it is going to have a impact on the situation here. Valley, as we woke up today, we see for this spontaneous shutdown in large parts of Srinagar. There was no call, apparently no call from any group. At least no call was reported, shutdown call in any newspaper or local news channel here in the valley. Yet we saw large parts of the Srinagar street shut. Traffic in the morning was almost normal. Now it is very, very less. This is peak hour, but very, very less, traffic on the road, at least in this part of the main Sri Lal Chowk area. Yasin was a militant. In 1988, he crossed a line of control, took arms training, came here and actually founded JKLF as a militant organization here. Then he was involved in many militant activities. He was jailed, he was arrested and jailed. In 1994, he announced a unilateral ceasefire and said he is renouncing violence. He will follow the non-violent path, Gandhian path. And since then, he has been engaged with several governments, as he said in the court, that he has engaged with 7 prime ministers or the 7 governments. And we know he met with the Prime Minister Manmohan Singh as well. He was engaged with the NDA government, and he also talked about during that time he was given passport and he could travel to different countries and also meet with the different, stakeholders and segments of the society and political leaders across the country. And he's saying if he was a criminal, why passport was given him during the NDTV regime. So that is now a past, but the facts are facts. The NIA has established that he is involved in these cases. The verdict is, quantum of punishment is awaited. He is already convicted of all those charges. Judge has told him that time is gone, whether he was innocent. He could not defend himself. Yasin Malik wanted to send a message by saying he will not contest the charges. Number one, he is trying to send a message he doesn't believe in the majesty of law or the process of law which was followed. Number two, he is actually maybe pleading guilty. But today, when the quantum of punishment was to be, pronounced, he said he's not involved in anything. But reportedly, he said he is ready for anything. Let's see how it plays out. But everybody's worried here how it is going to impact the situation. Well, the security forces are always ready to prepare to deal with any situation, but there are concerns. For example, it would be after 3 years, people are hoping a smooth and normal Amarnath Yatra, because in 2019 it had to be disrupted because of the decision of abrogation of 370. Yatra was called off. Then we had 2 successive years of COVID and Yatra could not be conducted. Now after 3 years, everybody is hoping that Yatris will come, it will be a smooth Yatra, and nobody likes that there should be any disruption in the smooth functioning of Yatra. Then we have the very, very good season of tourism. A record number of tourists are coming, hotels are booked, normal activities are taken. Children are going back to school after 3 years. Our children going back without any disruption. We want that to stay here. Everybody wants that. People are earning their living, shopkeepers, without any disruptions, earning their living, going to their businesses every day without any disruption. That is something that everybody wants to continue. And there's valley is on the edge because they don't know what is going to happen now. While the officials are confident that there would not be any problem, they feel that there's a robust, security system here. But the way we saw here, a spontaneous shutdown, everybody was taken by surprise. Hopefully everything is normal and everything should remain normal. But we know that Yasin Malik had a considerable, support base here, though the separatist mechanism, structure has been actually decimated. That is why despite all this, no call was given by any group. Either they have been jailed, some have died, and some who are out cannot actually speak the way this government has handled the separatism. That is the situation. But everybody right now waiting for the verdict.
Yes,
what
indeed.
will court say? What would be the quantum of punishment?
The quantum of punishment now awaited for the last 40-odd minutes or so. Earlier, we were expecting to hear from the Delhi court around 3:30, but that hasn't happened yet.